The visual squash is a perfect technique, a perfect process to turn to when you recognize you have an internal conflict. When it's almost as if you have two conflicting parts, one part of you that wants to make this change, and another part that seems to be holding on to that old way of thinking, feeling, believing, acting, or reacting. And when you identify that there is that split, those almost two opposing, conflicting parts within you, remember, turn to and practice this process, the visual squash. And this process, similar to the MOM technique, the mental object movement, or the body object release technique, is about allowing your mind, without analyzing, without judging, to just create a couple of mental objects. One which represents that motivating part of you, the part that wants the change, that wants to get rid of that unproductive thought or feeling, or wants to step into that new way of thinking or feeling. And then creating a mental object for that conflicting part, that old part, the part that we may call the old programming, the lie, the part that is no longer productive in your life, that part that seems to want to keep you in that old pattern. And creating a mental image of these two opposing parts, and then finding agreement, finding that there is a way somewhere in kind of in between, in the middle of these two parts of you, where both can feel that their positive intention is fulfilled without keeping you from making this change. So watch Haley demonstrate this process. And as you'll see at the beginning of the process, she has her hands out. That's the first step. Finding a comfortable place to relax, holding your hands out, and then beginning the process of creating a visual image for these two conflicting parts. So go ahead and watch the demonstration as Haley demonstrates creating two mental images in her mind for the two conflicting parts, and then watching as she goes through the process of finding a middle ground, finding agreement. Noting that while in this video it seems to be a rather quick process, it often takes a bit longer, and I recommend that you take your time, that you let the objects come to mind in whatever the way they are without judging, and then in just the most natural way, whether it is a short 2 or 3 minute process, or often more likely a little bit longer process, 5, 10, or even longer, just letting your subconscious mind do it in a natural way rather than trying to consciously think about, analyze, or come up with a middle ground, a solution. For if it were that easy consciously, you would have already done it. And that's why this process can be so powerful. You're tapping into your subconscious, that creative, imaginative part of our mind, which has all of the answers. And so let the process unfold in the most natural way. Sometimes perhaps even coming up with a new mental image for that middle ground, that object that represents the agreement between those conflicting parts. And other times you may not have a mental image of that middle ground, that agreeing part. You may not even have a sense of how this change is going to occur, but trust that your subconscious has found the middle ground, found agreement, found a way to move on and live your life in a new way, in a better way. So again, watch, practice, play, and enjoy.
And allow yourself to create a visual representation of the part of you that wants to make that change. That's right. Picking that hand that you know and allowing your mind to create that symbol that represents that, what we might call a motivating part, the part that wants to make the change. Awesome. And then now looking at the other hand and creating a symbol in that hand, the part that wants to stay the same, that doesn't want to change. You have something in mind? Very good. So what I want you to do is allow yourself to go ahead and close your eyes, take a nice breath, and close your eyes and imagine that in that one hand is the motivating part, and the symbol is there that represents your desire to change, and in the other hand, the part that wants to stay the same. I want you to ask now both of those parts to come to an agreement. So allow an agreement to occur between them that will allow you to make the change, where both of those parts of you, both of those symbols that represent those conflicting parts, can come to an agreement. And as those parts begin to come to an agreement, allow the hands to begin to come together only as fast as it feels like an agreement is being made. Letting the positive intentions from both parts come together as slowly as you need to. Letting an agreement take place between those parts which in the past had been in conflict, but are coming to an agreement now. Awesome. And as you feel that shift, allow those hands to come to your heart, feeling that shift go into your body, perhaps even a profound shift. That's right, for those two parts which were in conflict have reached an agreement, whether you're aware of it consciously or not. That motivating and that part that had been motivated to stay the same have now come to an agreement. And sensing and imagining that as you pull it deep within your body and mind, that you notice, that you expect, that you're aware of, every day it just becomes easier and easier for you to step into that new you, leaving that old life, whatever it may be for you, behind and stepping into that new agreement, that new life, and letting this intention and desire grow stronger and stronger, going deeper and deeper, and feeling so wonderful each and every day as you step into that new you, exactly as you wish to be.